Okay, it's Friday, December 19th, 2025. You can see there's snow on the ground, but as of a couple hours ago, there's no snow on the ground. You can see the yards are kind of bare. It was all green grass. It rained over an inch last night. It was 55 yesterday. That's crazy warm. So the snowpack's gone, except for, this is where we're working. So it's kind of like a ice pack snow-packed ice. So that's still there, which means the tractor will just be sliding on the ice, so we're not going to do that. But I walked the trail, and there is probably like 10-15 trees that blew down last night. It was, the wind at the airport was 50 miles an hour, but whatever the wind was around here, it was windy. So here's one of probably like 5 or 6 trees that, directly fell across the trail, and there's a bunch more that are like hanging up in the trees over the trail or partially blocking the trail. So I think we're going to work on that. And this is what we started yesterday. We wanted the tree to come this way, but it went that way. So here's what I'm thinking. I brought the pole saw, and I'm thinking, as sometimes thinking is a good first place to be. So the tree's hung up in that crotch, and this branch is loaded, spring loaded to the tree above it. So I'm thinking of taking the pole saw and cutting here, which will release it from the crotch. That will hopefully push it that way and down, and that piece will still stay there, and then I'll deal with it next, probably cut it on. All right, well, I pulled that after the thing 40 times, it didn't start, so we're not going to use the pole saw. I think we're going to move over there and try that. Just for shits and giggles, I tried pulling it and started. So now we're going to set up and try that. Now let's have a look and see if our thought process was accurate. And it was. There's that piece, and there's the branch that was loaded. That stuff is still there, so I'm gonna have to, it's gonna be too high to use the pole, so I have to get a rope and pull it down a little bit. But now we have this one, which I can use the chainsaw on the Echo. But we gotta clean up that mess that we started over there to open up that part of the trail. Okay, we got that part cut off. We got one log up there and a couple small ones there and some on the brush pile in the back. Brush pile's getting pretty big. I think this looks like a pretty straight shot. I think we're just gonna get a chain here and maybe to that tree right there. We're just gonna pull and cut off in sections, but I wanna go show you the root system on this. Hang on, I gotta navigate all this. Okay, so I cut it free, but what's unusual is you can see the roots are up, like the roots snapped, right? Usually the ash trees fracture somewhere up in this section here, but it must have been strong enough and the wind was blowing hard enough that I just ripped the roots, broke the roots and pulled that root section up. Which not usually what we see with ash trees. So definitely a windy night last night. All right, we're packed up. It's been snowing, so ground's getting covered. We're gonna head in. We got some more indoor projects to work on.